Good evening. My name is Jay Rothman, and welcome to Real Men, Real Talk Raw. It is Friday evening. It is the last Friday before the holiday of Christmas. We are in the season. We just wrapped up Hanukkah for the Jewish people, and now we've coming into the Christmas holiday for the Catholics and Christians and all of those people that celebrate this holiday. We have tonight a special guest, a friend of mine. His name is Matthew Grant. And we got Matthew. He's en route to a final destination for his weekend celebration with him and his wife Alicia and her family. They're going to be together for the holiday. And so, unfortunately, the traffic coming out of Los Angeles was pretty typical, and he's running a little bit behind. So right now, Matthew's coming live from the car. He is a passenger. He is not driving. And once he gets to his destination, he's going to exit out of the car, and he'll then be seated in front of, I believe, a baby grand or a piano.
Baby grand, yeah.
Baby grand, and we'll continue the conversation. So we may have some moments where he may drop. He may freeze up. He's going to go through some pockets of lousy reception, but maybe we'll be fortunate, and you'll be able to stay with me. But Matthew, I want to welcome you back to the show. Welcome to Real Men, Real Talk.
Thank you, Jay, for having me again. Oh, I love it.
So last time Matthew was on a show, it was right around sometime in the midsummer. You were about to release a new album, I believe.
I just released my single, so I had just released it, and we was working on a video or some sort for it.
All right, and that name of that single is King for a Day. Yeah. How has that song gone for you? Has it been good?
It's been good. It's been interesting. It's been an interesting situation because it's such a very direct song. So it's one of those, like, it's been going good. People don't know where to place it because it's not this side or that side, or it's not a specific type of, it's not a specific genre. So they really know where to place it because it's very direct. So, but it's been going great. Like, everyone who hears it loves it.
Yeah, it's a great single. While we're waiting for some people to jump on, I want to thank those that are joining us live. I want to acknowledge Arlene. My mom has just come in off a cruise. Welcome home back to Florida. And she was out out on the seas for a couple of weeks. We've got John Thaddeus Fiore coming in from the Jersey Shore of New Jersey, and he says, "What a great smile, Matt." And we got Robert C. Stern coming in from Long Island, or actually coming in. I think he lives in New Jersey, but he grew up down the street on the same street as I did on Long Island, New York. And so as more people continue to jump in and join us this evening, this is a holiday show. I felt about a couple of weeks ago that I wanted to bring some holiday cheer and celebration into the show for the year end. And when I thought of that, when I felt like it's something I wanted to do, there was only one guest that felt right for this moment. And Matthew, that was you. Last week I had a guest on, Donald Scher came on, and he spontaneously sang a couple of tunes. And, he wasn't in front of a baby grand, and it was spontaneous and it was beautiful. There was a lot of laughter and some tears and some painful moments as he shared his story of navigating through hitting his rock bottom. And coming out of that, I just thought, like, there's not a better person to bring in to the year-end celebration and reflect on the year, what 2018 meant for you and for me, than to have you on. So I'm thankful that you joined me tonight, and I'm excited to hear some of your songs. Why don't you share with me and our community what you have been doing for the past close to 20 days now, leading up to the holiday. You've been busy every night.
Every night and every day. Every night I've been posting on my Facebook 20 days of Christmas. So I'll sing a new song day 1, day 2, day 3 every day. And then on my Instagram, I've been posting different songs on my Instagram. So I've been like recording, inviting guests in to come sing with me, play guitar. So I had a special guest today on my Instagram, and then I have another guest tomorrow. We recorded it today, but I have another guest tomorrow that I'm gonna show tomorrow. It's so much fun. Christmas has never been like my favorite holiday of the holidays, but Christmas music is like my favorite type of music. So so I enjoy spreading the Christmas cheer.
I have. I think I've caught every night of every one of your posts except for last night, which I just learned was not a live post. It was a replay, if I
Yeah.
understood you correctly. But I've really enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed following you over the last couple of weeks now as you've come on live. And so what has it been? What's it for you? Why have you done it? What's it meant to you?
I love, well, of course I love singing. I love music. Uh, but for me, I think it was my family's in Kansas City, and I'm here in California. So, and then I have friends all across this country and even across the world. So it made Christmas a little more funner for the last 3 years as I'm doing it. I've been going live, was to just spread cheer to everybody and just kind of like, hey, how about this? It started out as like, I'm going to sing a Christmas song on Facebook Live. And then I was like, I'll do another one. Okay, I'll do another one. And so then it turned into 25 Days of Christmas. And then everybody started asking for it, like, are you going to do it again? So this is year 3 of me doing it. So
Wow.
that's what prompted me to put out the Christmas album that I just put out.
So tell me a little bit about your Christmas album. What you just put that out for this season? How many songs are on it, and where can guests in the community listen to the music?
So I put it out. It's 4 songs. It's technically an EP, not a full album, but so it's 4 songs. If it's iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon, it's everywhere you buy your music at.
And how do they find it? What's the name of the album? Or
Okay, so the name of the album is Thrill of Hope, and it's and you'll see my mug on there with my afro.
so it's Thrill of Hope.
Yeah, so you can look it up, Matthew Grant, Thrill of Hope, or you can just search by my name, Matthew Grant, and see all the music that I got out and featured on, and Thrill of Hope.
Okay.
I got that actually from a Christmas song, "Oh Holy Night," and it's a Thrill of Hope. The real reward rejoices.
What's your favorite song on that album, and why?
My favorite song on the album would have to be Silver Bells. Silver Bells, because I like the end of it. I like the end of the song. Like, I listen to the song just to get to the end. Not the end of the song, but like the end part, like the bridge of the song. I wrote a bridge into the song and said, I can hardly wait for Christmas. And so that's really cool. I love that part, the harmonies and everything.
So on that song, do you want to? Obviously, you're gonna sing that song tonight. Do you want to do it now, or do you want to wait until you're in front of the piano for that particular song?
I'll wait till I'm in front of the piano.
Okay.
Yeah.
So while you are en route to the baby grand, what I'd love to do, Matthew, is this afternoon I decided to take some time and sit down and write a blog. And the blog is about my reflections on 2018. And it was interesting for me because I realized just a few days ago that I hadn't done a blog since I relocated over to Arizona. I had
Oh, so
kind
you
of,
relocated to Arizona?
yeah, I did. Why does that look so, why do you have that sad look on your face?
I just didn't know. I'm sorry, I interrupted your whole story.
It's
Sorry.
okay. Yeah, no, it's been a beautiful blessing for me. You know, it was a decision I made primarily to up level my health, my physical health, and I needed to improve some things going on. And hiking for me is what I believe is my gateway, as opposed to riding my beach cruiser at the beach. So a little bit higher intensity and exercise, and I believe it's going to help me get to the next level of physical well-being. So, you know, sometimes we make decisions that feel right, and we have to go with them. We have to trust our inner intuition, and this was one of those times. And so, you know, I wrote this blog today, and what I realized is I felt like I hadn't done it forever. I felt like I was a rookie doing it from day one. It had been a number of months. It'd been since I moved here, and so I was a little rusty. But I had flipped from doing blogs to going and doing spontaneous lives on Facebook and then doing these shows. And so it kind of felt uncomfortable. But, you know, through the discomfort is how we get to grow. And so in this particular blog, I really focused on reflecting on 2018 and what it should mean and could mean for us as we look back on a year and really look at some of our amazing moments, those moments that were special, that you know, I like to refer to it as the highlight reel. You know, what were those moments that really impacted your life, your family, your soul, your being, the good and the bad? And so I'd love to hear some of that if you would be willing to share with me and those that are watching us. By the way, Christine O'Connell, who says, "Hi, Jay, good evening. Thank you so much for coming in from the LBC." LBC is Long Beach, California. So thank you for jumping on, Christine from Long Beach. We got Matthew O. Grant in the house, and he is en route to the Baby Grand where he's going to light up Jason Live.
I'm gonna. It's probably gonna go off.
So it sounds like Matthew Grant right now is underwater. He is going through some bad cell areas here, but he will come back into the studio. Cannot hear you, Matthew. But while we're waiting for Matthew to jump back on, I'm going to take him out of the studio, put him back in the lobby until he can come back on in a good signal. But while I wait for Matthew to come on, if you hear something that you like or love, feel free to hit that button. If you have any questions or comments for Matthew or myself, feel free to post them on the feed. If you're coming in live, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. If you catch the replay, and that works just as good. It doesn't matter if we show up on time, if we show up before, if we show up after. There is no right time. It is the time. So I appreciate you coming on live or on replay. And even on replay, you could hit comments and hit likes and loves. And so, you know, as I wait for Matthew to come back into the studio, it was interesting for me today because I really had to force myself to sit down and write. It's almost like I felt like I had writer's block, and it was uncomfortable for a little bit until I started to get into the flow. But you know, it's just a reminder that we don't have to. You know, we could live in contrast, meaning that we don't have to do one or the other, um, meaning I'm either going live or I'm blogging. We could do both. Looks like Matthew is in the house. Welcome back.
Hello.
Wow.
I'm back.
I see that. I see that. And you're sitting in front of the piano right now. So you made it there safely.
Made it there safely. Got to hug my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and grandma. So, and
That's
pet the dog.
amazing. All
Yeah.
that and all that in a minute and a half.
Yes.
So when you dropped off, I had asked you if you could come to mind that you'd be willing to share with us some of the highlights of your year. Some of the amazing moments, the things that unfolded for you, and love to hear about some of them.
So the highlights is in July 6th, I quit my job. It was my last day of working a 9 to 5. And that had to be the biggest highlight of 2018 for me, because for since I got out of college, I've been working, and I stepped out to do what I feel like I was called to do, and that's music full time, and it has paid off for sure.
Mm, mm, wow. So that's the top of your highlight reel. How much persuasion did you need from others, or how did you have the courage to finally take that major step for yourself? What was behind that?
Um, Honestly, the my encouragement was seeing people, and this is definitely, it sounds like a humble brag for sure, but it was definitely people who weren't. It sounds so bad. Please forgive me, y'all. I'm not bragging on myself, but it sounds people who it came from. I would look at people who were not as talented as me. That sounds so bad. Oh God, that sounds so bad. But I've seen people who were doing music full time, and I don't know their financial situation. I don't know what they got in their bank. But I've seen people who didn't sing that good, and they were gigging all the time and making money and in the studio. And I was like, wait a minute, this is not right. I'm answering the phone and I can sing and play the piano. This ain't this isn't right. Why am I not? I moved to Los Angeles to make money doing music. And my wife, I thought I even thought my wife would be like, well, um, babe, you probably, maybe let's save up some money. Then no, that wasn't what my wife said. My wife was like, okay, do what you got to do. I was like, whoa, that was the biggest push. She was when I told her, I said, I think I need to quit my job. She's like, okay, do what you got to do. I was like, oh, okay. And we were talking about it the other day. She said, you're so much happier now. Not that I was ever a grouch, but you're so much happier now that you get to do music. So that was my encouragement. I know this sounds terrible, that it was people who, yeah, I won't say it again.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's just I think what I'm hearing is that it was just that was part of you telling the story to yourself that you're good enough.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it was about you had to kind of break down the old tapes, the insecurities within yourself, to go, you know what? If these people can do it, and I believe in my heart that I am as talented as they are, if
Yeah,
they have the courage to step out and step in, then what's holding me back from doing it?
exactly.
Yeah.
And because of that, I mean, great opportunities have come because I'm available.
So let's talk a little bit about those opportunities. What has happened to you since you stepped out and stepped into what you love to do, which is write,
Yeah.
sing, and perform?
Well, since I quit my job, well, I sold a house. So I was working as a real estate agent. I sold a house, which afforded me the opportunity to quit and not be in the poorhouse after quitting my job. So that was great. And then from there, I've been able to gig. I started out gigging like once a week on a hike, climbing up a mountain with Flight of Voices, climbing up mountains, singing and doing odd jobs here and there. I work at my church as more or less adjunct staff. So I'm not a staff. I'm not technically on staff at my church, but I'm adjunct staff. So I do a lot of things in the music department for my church. And that pays. But not only that, but I've been able to get residency. So I've reached out to some people and negotiated some prices and some deals. Got to do, and now I'm a regular fixture in these two restaurants. Well, one restaurant, one hotel. This one hotel is in West Hollywood. They don't have any music. They're brand new, started in June, just open. They don't have any music in their hotel. And so for me being the first, the general manager reached out to me and was like, I love your music, let's go. And we want my lighting people just lit the room up. Thanks, lighting crew. uh, so yeah, that's what happened. And then because I'm available, I just got an amazing opportunity to travel the world singing in front of thousands of people. And I don't have to like sell tickets to get there. They're coming anyway. As a performer on a cruise ship, but not just a performer, but a guest entertainer. And I get star treatment, and I get to make money, and it'll be great for 2019. It's going to be great for me and my wife and our family as we build our family and everything like that. So 2018 has been a great year. I had one down, but it actually turned into an up. But other than that, it's been great.
What was the down? Are you willing to share that?
Yeah. The only down I had was my label dropped me. Because I was signed to a major label. And so it seemed like a failure because they left. They said King for a Day came out and they spent all this money, and then it was a great song, but then they said they're not going to pick up the second option to do the next single. So it seemed like a bad thing because no matter how good or talented you are, you still feel rejected because they don't want you, right? So that's how I felt. I felt a little rejected. But then I realized, like, hey, now that I'm not with a label, I can put as much music as I want out when I want. I can put a song out right now if I want to. They can't tell me stop, and I get to keep all the money.
Yeah. So what you found was when you were on a label, and I know you talked about this. I watched you were on a show with another gentleman, Israel.
Yeah, Israel Houghton.
Yeah. I watched that show, and I recall listening to, it was either you or Israel that talked about when you were signed to a label, they basically own you.
Yeah.
And they make the money and you make very little.
80% of the money goes to them. It's no one would ever get a loan like that. But we do.
And so I believe that what unfolded for you is that you were given a gift of freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Total gift of freedom this year. And it's amazing because you had spent all that time working towards that first release with the label, and overnight you were given freedom from the label, which allowed you then to manifest all these new opportunities that may not have happened.
Yeah. And I think, and I'm thankful for that. And so sometimes you don't understand why something bad is happening, but it could definitely be providence for sure, divine providence. Like, nope, I'm protecting you from something greater. So,
well, you use that word sometimes, and I'm going to challenge you on that because I think most of the time we question it in the moment. We're like, it's painful, and we beat ourselves up, and it's like it makes no sense. And we go to that, that space of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
But when we are, the big but is when we are willing to when we have the awareness, if we have faith and we have either religious background or spirituality, and we understand that that there's always a plan. It's just
Yeah.
not necessarily the plan that we want, but the plan is always going to be bigger and greater than anything that we could have designed.
Yeah.
There's where faith and trust comes in.
For sure.
You know, so we either have faith and trust in the label, or we have faith and trust in the divine. And look what ends up happening. So while you're dancing, let's hear a song. Why don't you surprise us with either a song from the album, from the Christmas album, or a cover song, or it doesn't matter because you're going to do a few of them tonight.
Okay. Well, Silver Bells is the one that I said, and I was one of my favorites on the album. So, forgive me if I mess up the words. I get the first verse and the second verse mixed up sometimes. So
it's okay. That's what makes you an original.
You're right. Silver bells, silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile. And on every street corner you'll hear, oh, silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city. Oh, ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Strings of streetlights, even stoplights, blinking bright red and green. As the shoppers rush home with their treasures, hear the snow crunch, see the kids bunch. This is Santa's big scene, and above all the bustle you hear, oh, silver bells, silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city. Oh, ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Oh, soon it will be Christmas Day. Oh, soon it will be. This is my favorite part right here. Christmas Day, 'cause I can hardly wait for Christmas. I can hardly wait for Christmas. Yeah, I can hardly wait for Christmas. Oh, I can hardly wait for Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Y'all can clap, people. Y'all.
That was amazing, Matthew. We have Doris in the house. She says, "Hi, Matthew. Is that your mom or a
Doris,
relative?"
Doris Grant?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my mom.
You have something you want to say to mom right now?
Hey, mom, I love you. Should I say more? I talk to her. I talk to her on a frequent basis.
It's okay. It's okay. We're here right here right now.
Mama, look, I made it. I'm on somebody else's live.
So is your mom one of your biggest fans today?
My mother is my biggest fan. She's more of a fan than my wife. My wife gets tired of me. My wife, it's weird. It's hard to say that, but my wife be still on the couch. I be singing. She stick her hand in her ear. So yeah, she be like, "You so loud, God." People ask her all the time. They ask my wife all the time. They're like, "Oh my gosh, did he like sing to you all the time?" And she's like, "No." No, our apartment's small and I'm loud. That's why.
Of course. Yeah. Well, the good news is you play piano and not the drums.
Oh gosh, I don't think I don't I don't think I don't think we would have made it if I played the drums.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that comes to mind right now as I've listened to you play that song, sing that song, is what does Christmas mean to you today?
Today. For me, Christmas means sharing the joy. It really does mean sharing joy to me today. It didn't used to be like that. I used to have the normal thing of, well, Christmas is about Jesus. It's about the birth of Christ. But for me, and I'm not saying it's not that. This is just an addendum to that, or in addition to that. Like for me, today, 2018, Christmas is about spreading joy, and that's why I named and hope. That's why I named my album "The Thrill of Hope,"
Mm,
because I feel like it's such a polarizing climate and such a polarizing time that we're in, where everybody's looking for a reason to be mad. Everybody's looking for a reason to be um, on someone on this side or that side, like picking a side. I feel like we need hope, and not a hope that not hope in a person or a particular idea, because nothing like that, but just hope within ourselves and peace and joy within ourselves. Like, and so I feel like I can do that, and that's why I made a point this year and last year to make my gifts homemade. You know, so I baked bread. I made bread this year for all the people, like some of my closest friends. I made bread for them, and I made homemade apple butter and homemade cookie butter, and I dropped it off and put it on a ceramic plate, and we dropped it off at their house, and just we wanted to give that. We made this with our hands because we love you. Whether you celebrate Christmas or not, we got friends that don't celebrate Christmas. They're Jewish or they're atheists or whatever, and we still gave them something because we love them. And so that's we make it a point now every year to make homemade gifts for our friends now, to spread hope and joy.
Matthew, I want to tell you that I think you do way more um, than just by baking them bread and dropping the food off to them. I think the greatest gift you give to people is you.
No,
And I'm having one of these moments. Okay, so let me go with it for the moment. Is that I I love watching you perform, whether it's the times that I've seen you live as part of the Flight of Voices artists, or watching you on YouTube, or watching you on Facebook. When you speak and when you talk and when you sing, um, the love that you have for yourself and for others just radiates. It glows through you, and you know, the greatest gift you give others is just by showing up and being who you are.
Wow.
And giving them the bread and all that is it's a beautiful thing gesture to do. But in my humble opinion, it's not necessary to to do that unless you really want to, because you are giving you're giving yourself to others just by showing up.
Mm.
And you know, the bread is just the icing on a cake. No pun intended. But
You're right.
I just wanted to put that out there because you know, part of our society sometimes is we get caught up in the gift giving, and like you said, you know, it's about the thrill of hope, is the hope that we can live in joy within ourselves.
Yeah.
And and it just radiates. It comes out from within you. And I know that your beautiful wife and your mom they're probably shaking their heads right now saying, yes, exactly,
Dad,
exactly.
shake
And
your hand. She's shaking her head.
I just needed to say that because that's my truth about you. You know, here's my truth too, is that I didn't get any of that bread, probably because I'm living in Arizona and it's a 6 hour drive.
Probably.
But it's okay because I don't need the bread. I just need you. And
Oh,
I
man,
get
you're
you,
so
man. I get you all the time, you know, and it's a greatest gift. And so um that's my truth today. That's my truth that I'm speaking right now. And
okay. I appreciate you so much.
I I you know, your mom and your wife are your biggest fans, but you've got people, I'm sure, across the globe right now that you're not even aware of that are in your corner. And I can tell you that I am in your corner. I have been since the first day I met you. I
Wow.
fell in love.
Oh,
And
thanks.
you make it easy, you know. It's Mary says that all the time, you know. You make it easy. And
Mm.
so how is it to receive that? Are you okay with that? Or is it difficult for you to hear what I'm saying right now?
No, I can receive that. I can receive that. I can receive that. It makes me want to. It makes me want to continue to be the person I am. Um, because that's all I wanted to do. I honestly, why I sing. I don't sing to make money. Like, I do want to make money, but I sing and I want to make people happy. And I want people, when they're in my presence, they don't feel like it's a chore to be around Matthew. I want them to be like, oh man, we just want to hang out with Matt. I don't want to be the center of the attention. I just want to be in the room and just have to be the glue and love and all that stuff.
So I want to ask you to, if you could maybe think of what song you'd like to do next for us. Is whether it be it could be your favorite song of all time from a holiday perspective, or it could be one of your all time favorite songs that you've ever performed. That's your own music or someone else's.
Okay. Well, I never want to miss an opportunity to promote my album. So this is another song. I actually really like this song. It's not my favorite Christmas song, but it's definitely top three. My favorite Christmas song is "Joy to the World," and I mean, we've all heard "Joy to the World," but it's you know what? I'll sing "Joy to the World." That's my favorite Christmas song, so I'll sing it. I haven't sang it in that key. Joy to the world. Okay, I think that's a good key. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare Him room. Let heaven and nature sing. Let heaven and nature sing. Let heaven and heaven creatures sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills, and plains repeat the sounding joy. Repeat the sounding joy. Repeat, repeat the sounding joy. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love. He rules the world with truth and grace. It's my favorite verse. I sing it again. And makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness and wonders of his love, 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 and wonders oh, of his love. Joy to the world. I love my family.
So we got Ron Lerma in the house. He says, "That's my son-in-law." Is he in the same house with you right there?
He is in the same house as me right now. Yes. Hey, Pops.
Can we get Ron? Can we get Ron or Alicia on a camera with you?
Yes. Come on in, mother-in-law. Everybody's live today. So that's my father-in-law, Ron. Hello. That's my lovely wife. And that's my mother-in-law, Anita. And that's Granny over there in the corner right there. We didn't put Granny in the corner.
I just want to acknowledge all of you and thank you for sharing Matthew with me this evening. I know he just arrived, and I know you've probably got dinner sitting on a stove or something that's going to happen and this evening. And so I just want to acknowledge you and thank you for your willingness to share him with me as soon as he walked in to come on live. But you're used to this. Maybe the last time he visited, we went through the exact same scenario. It was like deja vu.
Yes.
But so how does it feel for you guys to have your son-in-law who is a songwriter, a singer, an entertainer, a man who just wants to spread love and joy? How does it feel to have him in the family?
Oh, it's awesome. We love it. It's he's just always encouraging, and we just love to be around him.
Aww. And we love it when he comes and plays. I tell him he can play. Doesn't matter. Middle of the night, in the daytime, the morning, you can play anytime you want. It's music to your ears.
Beautiful. Matthew?
Yes, sir.
How you doing right now?
I'm good.
Yeah.
A little hungry, but
well, we've actually got about 10 minutes till to the hour. So with the time that we have left, Matthew, one of the things I wanted to just also share with you is what I really respect about you is that you're not afraid to step out of your comfort zone and try different things, to reinvent yourself. You've done it a number of times. It's not like you were born out of the cradle and you got into music and you became a star at the age of 10 or 11. You've reinvented yourself a number of times.
Yeah.
And what are some of the things that you have done in your career over your lifetime to try to create, to follow your passion and dreams in the moment? What are some of the things you have done? I'm aware of them, but I'd like you to share it.
Oh my goodness. So I have been a teacher. I was a teacher aide. And then I was a teacher's assistant. Then I started teaching character education and abstinence education in the school. I've been a youth pastor. I've been an interim pastor. I've been a pastor at a Spanish church. I've been a music director. I've been a realtor. I've also been a barista. Well, I mean, I do that. I don't pay the bills. That just feeds my stomach. She said I'm an amazing cook.
You're also a pastry chef. I learned that tonight because you're out there.
And also, and now I'm a full-time musician and entertainer. How about that? I finally got to the goal. That's the goal.
I think you've only just begun.
I believe it.
Yeah. We're really just at the beginning. And I have a sense that you probably feel that deep inside.
Oh yeah. It's I really feel like I'm 32 now, and I feel like I'm just at the tip of what's about to happen. Just scratching the surface. And I'm super excited. I'm super excited to be able to pass a legacy on to my children's children. That's what I'm extremely excited about. A legacy of that that my grandparents passed to me, and my parents passed them. My grandparents passed. You know what a legacy is. I ain't gonna tell you what a legacy is. Y'all know what a legacy is.
I do. Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about looking back when I'm 70 and talking to my grandkids and saying, y'all don't even know. We living in this nice big old house, but it didn't start out like this.
What would you say if you were speaking to the youth today? What would you say is what is it taken for you to step out of your comfort zone and into discomfort, to have the willingness to reinvent yourself as many times as you have? What does it take to do just that?
You can't be afraid to it's not even being afraid to fail. You can't be afraid to be yourself. God doesn't take a poll and ask a bunch of people, do you think I want to bless Jay? Do y'all feel like we should bless Jay today? God doesn't poll people. So why do we take a poll when it comes to moving to doing the next thing? We have to ask 17 people. Everybody gonna talk us out of it, and then we never do it. You'll never know if you were supposed to go to Africa if you never just go. You will find out very fast when you get to Africa whether or not you should have went over there. And then sometimes when you get there and it didn't go the way you thought, it may cause you to replan and refocus, because trouble doesn't cause us to cower down. It shouldn't cause us to cower down. Trouble should cause us to transition. It should cause us to get things in order. And I was like, oh, wait. Let me assess this situation. And I'm from Kansas City. I moved to Columbus, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, New York. I lived here in Northern California, now in Southern California. And who knows where we'll be next. But wherever it is, you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid to just step out and do it. Like, just do it, really. That's what I tell these kids now. Don't ask 17 people, even though in a multitude of counsel there's wisdom there. You gotta live and you gotta figure out and don't be afraid to be yourself. Because everybody has their own, Jay, everybody has an opinion of you. Everybody has an opinion of what they think you should do, what you should be saying, what you should be doing. And everybody's opinion of you most of the time is wrong. You gotta know you. Okay, I'll leave it alone. I get excited about it, man.
No, don't. Excited is good. You know, you just spoke the truth. And what I have learned over the past 38 months of my own healing journey is that if I listen to what other people thought I should be doing, I probably wouldn't even be alive right now. We would not be on this show. I would not even been able to start this show because the information and what people's opinions with what I should be doing for myself was not necessarily the right decisions for me.
Right.
And almost every decision that I have made for myself over the past 38 months has not been in alignment with the people, even within my own family members.
Listen, you better say a word, sir. I was amening you. I'm sorry.
Okay. Now I get it. Thank you. I get it. So, you know, that's the truth is like, we gotta listen. We got to turn off the chatterbox and we got to listen to the most important voice. And it's that voice that's coming from within.
Yep.
It's that inner voice.
Mm-hmm.
And the inner voice knows what's best for us because the inner voice is us.
It's always been there. Because when you're at home by yourself, all the people you ask ain't going to be there. I love my wife because my wife, when I say to her, and she may just know this already, I don't know. When I say to her, I feel like I need to do this, she just says, okay. Because I guess she may know, I don't know. She may know this, I don't know. But she knows that I've already thought about it, prayed about it, and said, this is what I feel like we should do this and we're going to move in. And she just trusts, like, okay. She never tries to talk me off the ledge and say, nah. She literally, I got emotional about, we was at dinner with some friends the other night, and I got emotional because I knew she was the one I was supposed to be with 3 years later, when she says, we're sitting in the house, we don't know how we was just sitting there, and I was like, we're gonna have to pay the rent late. And she said, if the lights get cut off, I'll just be sitting next to you in the dark. And that thing right there just hit me. I was like, that's the one I need in my corner right there. I'll just be sitting next to you in the dark. Like, where else she gonna go? She gonna say, I'm going to my mama's house, you figure it out.
That's the wit. That was the wit. There is no sarcasm behind that statement.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's so beautiful.
She's a good girl.
You just got me, Matthew.
That messed me up too when I said, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. They're cutting onions up in here? What's happening?
Yeah. You know, it's so beautiful that when we have the awakening, that we understand that we don't need a lot of people in our corner. We just have to believe in ourselves, and we have to pay attention to what we're hearing, and then just know that we just need to have one or two people in our corner that support us, that hold us up when we may have that moment of doubt or that moment of just not knowing. Yeah. And it's a beautiful thing. And I'm so grateful that you're in my life today, that I get to witness you walking through your journey. And even when we don't talk on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis, I'm right there with you. And I'm one of your biggest cheerleaders.
Oh, Jason.
And I'm trying to get you emotional right now. And it's going to take more than me speaking. So what I'd love to do, Matthew, is ask you to sing one last song for us. I want to respect your time with your family. I'm going to let you pick it. It doesn't have to be a holiday song. It's just got to be something that hits your soul.
Okay.
It could be King for a Day. It could be something else.
Did Mary just say King for a Day? Is that Mary?
Yeah.
I didn't say King for a Day.
But it doesn't have to be, you know? You don't have to take... It could be, you know what? It could be a melody. It could be, what's it called when you combine a bunch of songs into one? Medley.
It's a medley. It's
a medley.
My father-in-law just gave it nothing. You know, I'm going to sing. I'll almost do Man's World, but not Man's World, actually. I'll do my version of Mary Did You Know. I like that song, and it brings some hope to the world. And who knows? I might go into King for a Day. We never know. This is also on my EP, Thrill of Hope. It's the last song on the album. That was a shameless plug. Or shameless plug. Mary, did you know that your baby boy one day rule the nation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy one day walk on water? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? And the child that you delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would give sight to a blind man? Oh, Mary, did you know, that your baby boy would calm the storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? And the child that you are holding soon deliver you. Mary, did you know? I wanna know, Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know? I like this right here. Say, the blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the praises of the Lamb. Oh, no, 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 no. the sleeping child you're holding is the great I am. Oh, Mary, did you know? Oh, I want to know, Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know? No, 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 no. Mary, did you know? The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. No. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak the praises of the Lamb. Mary did. Mary, did you know?
What does that song mean to you, Matthew? Any meaning?
I could just imagine Mary holding Jesus, the baby, not knowing that this man was, whether you believe in Jesus or not, this man, they still talking about him 2,000 years later. So like, I wonder if she knew, like, even though, like, the way the story goes, the angel touched her and all this stuff. Like, can you imagine holding a baby and thinking, oh, this is my baby, and then he'd be the person that's literally here to change the world? It's like, I imagine that when my mom held me, I don't think she thought, oh my gosh, my son's gonna be traveling the world singing. I don't think she thought that. She said, this is my baby. And now that she sees, like, oh my God, that's my baby.
I was thinking the exact same things. So I'm glad you said it and I didn't have to say it. We all could make a difference.
Yeah.
And we just get to do it by showing up and being who we are today.
Just showing up. I like that. Can I steal that?
You got it. The other line that just really hit me tonight is like, what you do is you step out and then you step in. You step out of your comfort zone and then you step into your soul.
Step out, step in.
So does that make you a king for a day?
It does make me a king for a day.
All right. Sing us out, Matthew. Sing us out. One last song, and then one last song. It could be a James Brown or it could be a Matthew O. Grant.
Wars and rumors of wars, we're filled with so much hatred and we don't know what for. We do what we think's right and we shed innocent blood. We segregate our lives, whatever happened to love? If I was a king or a day, I would take all this hurt away and restore our faith in each other again. I make a decree there wouldn't poverty, giving back what was lost. I'll change this world at any cost. If I was a king, mindless choices have the loudest voice. We save the birds and trees, but for ourselves we leave no choice. Corrupted politicians making laws for the land. They keep us on the ground and we don't understand. If I was a king for a day, I would take all this hurt away and restore our faith in each other again. in poverty, giving back what was lost. I'll change this world at any cost. Oh, I'll change this world at any cost. Oh, I change this world at any cost.
Matthew O. Grant singing King for a Day. Matthew, so much thanks for you for being here tonight. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Thank you. Next time we get together, it will be in the new year. You will have probably come off a ship. Bon voyage, and best of luck to you in January in your new endeavor. And have a beautiful, beautiful holiday season with your family. And
yes, sir.
just enjoy. Keep smiling.
Yes, sir.
I love you.
Love you too, Jay. Thank you so much. Love you, Mary.
You too.
Take care, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great night and have a great weekend.
You too.
Thanks all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.